Hey, hello. Good good afternoon from Ghana. Good afternoon, everybody watching us right now or watching me right now. My name is Eko Simpson. I just made a post on my community tab that I'll be coming online live to have a discussion with two awesome gentlemen about these topics, like the one you have seen on the headline. But I'll be very glad if you put up a comment so that at least I will know the number of people who are watching us right now and where exactly you are watching us from. This will be an awesome conversation. So I expect a lot of you to be on board to discuss and really look at the best way to move forward when it comes to um, you know, our brothers and sisters from the diaspora and all that. So I won't take much of the time. I would like to say Happy Father's Day to everybody who is watching us right now. Happy Father's Day to all of you out there in the Caribbean. I mean, everybody. We can't mention countries, but every potential man or father out there, we say thank you very much for being part of us, and then thank you for being a father as well. Fathering even one child is not easy. How much more a lot of you. So today, I have some few items that we're going to be discussing today. But like I said, I'll be very happy if you put up a comment so I will get to know where you are watching us from. I would like to introduce my guest, and then after that, I will tell you the reason why we are here today. First of all, I would like to mention the two dignitaries that we'll be talking to today. We have Nana Kwame Nakra the second. Nana Kwame Nakra the second. He's the Tufuhin of Atonkwa, Elmina. Yes, Elmina is in the central region. And he's also the provost of Obekese University of Excellence. Okay, Nana Sibo, how are you? Thank you very much for being part of this. And then my other guest is, you have already seen him in one of my videos. We discussed about the Asebu line and all that. He is also Nana Obekese Ampa. He is the Apejamhin of Asebu traditional area. So I'd like to bring them on board right now. And then, okay, good afternoon, Painful.
Good morning here. Good afternoon for you. Good afternoon.
All right, great. Nana Obekese, please, your mic is on mute. So if you can unmute it. Yeah, you're good. I still cannot hear you now. I don't know. Hello, Nana Obekese, your mic is not working. Maybe you should. Okay, let me see from here.
Well, it's still on mute.
Okay, I think you have to unmute it yourself. There is an unmute button you have to click on. Hello. Yeah, it is unmuted, but we can't hear you. I don't know. Maybe there is another Obokase Empire. I don't know if you're using the same two. Okay, let me take one out. Yeah, you have mute yourself again.
Am I doing okay now?
Yeah, you are doing okay now. You are doing okay now. All right. So thank you very much. I would say my fathers, and I would say Happy Father's Day to all of you. I know it has not been easy being a father. I mean, from when you started giving birth up till now. But I like to ask Nanakra, how is it like being a father?
Well, being a father is a big responsibility.
Mm-hmm.
It's like being a mother. But we say that life is the greatest miracle on earth.
Yeah.
And nurturing that life is the biggest responsibility on earth.
Mm-hmm.
These are awesome responsibilities, duties, and obligations that have to be fulfilled. Otherwise, the life does not progress and grow.
Right. Do you think do you think fathers have been celebrated enough? Looking at when it's Mother's Day, everybody jumps on social media, buy stuff for their parents, for their mothers, and all that. Do we, as fathers, also receive such recognition around the world?
Well, I don't think we get the same celebration because mothers are just closer to children than fathers are. So, but fathers shouldn't be jealous of the attention that mothers get because it's well deserved, and God knows and our ancestors know what we're doing. So it's okay.
Right. Let me come to Nana Obekese. Happy Father's Day to you. How is the feeling? Have you had any calls from your kids or anything?
Yes, it's such an amazing feeling, Echo. And I want to thank you for this opportunity to get with you and your worldwide audience today. Also, I want to use the opportunity to say a big thank you to some very wonderful fathers that I have been blessed with.
Okay.
First of all, I would say a big thank you to Okatachi Professor Amanfi the Seventh, the Omahen of Asebu traditional area.
Okay.
Also to Nana Kobna Nkasia the Fifth, the Omahen of Eskedo traditional area.
Okay.
And to Dasebre Kwebu Ewusi, the Abiaze Omahen and the Vice President of the National House of Chiefs, Ghana. Okay. And to Nana Kwame Nakra the second, to Queen of Atonkwa Elmina. Okay. To Dr. George Fraser, President, Fraser Nation, Rabbi Cohen Halevi, Executive Director, Panafest Foundation, to my two fathers who are in heaven now, Amadou Ampa Sahara and Joseph Lawson Johnson. Okay. Without these people, I wouldn't be here today. I want to say a big thank you to all of them and to all the wonderful people who have, raised me to this point and continue to raise me. I really appreciate all of you. If I'm mentioning names, I'll have to mention until tomorrow. So if you don't hear me, I still appreciate you. I love you. And I say, may Allah bless you.
Awesome. May Allah bless all of us. And we also want to say Happy Father's Day to everybody who is watching us right now from across the world. Now, quickly, last year, late last 2 years, coming to 2019, the president made a declaration about the year of return, inviting our brothers and sisters to the motherland and all that. And due to that, last year we had a lot of people coming to, I wouldn't say a lot of people, a lot of African Americans or Africans in diaspora from Germany, from Canada, UK, US, they were all coming to Ghana. Has the year of return really affected Ghana that much? Nanakra, you being an African diaspora, do you think the year of return has it had any impact on Africans and the motherland and Africans from the diaspora?
I think I'd first like to say that in addition to all the fathers that Nana Obekese mentioned, I'd like to add my commentary to all the fathers everywhere, the Ghanaian fathers, Akufo-Addo, his administration, the paramount chief, Nana Kondowa in the central region, the chief of my village, Nana Kojo Eduokwa V, and all the fathers that have been doing the important work to help develop the next generation. I would say Madasi, Madasi, Madasi Pa.
Awesome. All right, so on to the question.
The year of return has been very significant. The fruits of it has planted seeds more so than borne fruit as of this moment. But Akufo-Addo had the really ingenious idea to build upon the biblical prophecy of Genesis 15:13 that talks about a people that have been in bondage for 400 years in a land that's not their own. And at the end of that 400-year period, they would come out with great substance.
Okay.
That period, we believe, in that prophecy, we believe refers to us as African people in the diaspora.
Mhm.
It's typically accepted that 1619 August was the first recorded accepted date when Africans were captured, forced to stay in Elmina and Cape Coast dungeons for 3 or 4 months, sailed across the Atlantic in the hulls of death ships for 3 or 4 months, and arrived at Jamestown, Virginia,
Yeah.
for 1619. Well, 2019 marked the 400-year period. So the year of return was to take advantage of what biblically had been prophesied.
Okay.
And the Africans in the diaspora responded with overwhelming support, coming to Ghana to participate in that celebration. So that planted seeds for hope and possibilities for the future. So now it's up to us to nurture those seeds so that they will grow.
Yeah.
But that 1 year had a tremendous economic impact on Ghana. We're told that it resulted in an increase in GDP of $1.2 billion.
Yeah.
So whether those numbers have trickled down to every single person, we don't know. But it has certainly set the stage, and the field has been cleared and the seeds have been planted, and now it's up to us to water, weed, and harvest our crop.
Great. Great. So it is time for us to water what has been planted, for us to get it grown and then get it harvested. Now, let me come to you, Nana Obekese. How do we relate the year of return to what your community, your kingdom, or your traditional area has for Africans in diaspora? Talking about the Asebu free land for Africans in diaspora.
Thank you very much, Echo. The year of return, to me, is one of the most, if not the most, exciting thing that has happened to us as African people for the past 400 years. I would like to, on this note, say a big thank you to His Excellency President Akufo-Addo, as Nana said, for this very ingenious vision and for what he continues to do for Mother Ghana and Mother Africa.
Okay.
Echo, will you change mine? Is my name spelled correctly? Does it appear on the
Yes.
screen? Okay, thank you.
Yeah, the one that appears whilst you are talking are the comments from people. Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Okay.
So I would like to thank Nana Akufo-Addo for what he has done for the African people and for what he continues to do, and also to thank Oketechi Amanfi VII, the king of Asebu. Now, when Nana Akufo-Addo declared 2019 as the year of return to commemorate African resilience over the torture, over slavery, over the rape for all these years, and we surviving, commemorating our fighting spirit, our shared strength. Nana Oketechi Amanfi, Professor, the king of Asebu, told it wise that our people were taken from land. So if they have to return, then they must return to land. So Oketechi Amanfi offered 5,000 acres of land for all the children of Africa to consider returning home to. And this has generated a lot of excitement amongst the Pan-African community. We have on board Honorable Asebu Akwesi, the Director, Diaspora Affairs Office of the President. We have Honorable Kwame Boateng, the Attorney for the Ministry of Tourism and Culture, Ghana. We have different institutional heads being represented on the board of the Asebu Freeland Project, which we call the Asebu Pan-African Village Project. And so far, this project is headed by Okonetia Memfi VII, the king of Asebu. We also have Rabbi Cohen Halabi, the executive director of Pan-African Foundation. They all come together to form the board for the Asebu Pan-African Village Project. And I think it's going very well. We have at the office Honorable Obed Akokwansa, Kwame Nitoto, very good people doing wonderful things. And let me say a big shout out to Sister Ya Asantiwa. Sister Ya Asantiwa, she is the CEO for Sankofa Africa Repatriation Program. She's doing a wonderful job helping us move this project forward. A big thank you to you, Sister Ya. So, in short, I would say that the year of 10 has begun an exodus of our people going back home and owning part of Africa, owning part of Asebu, owning part of Ghana. And this is just symbolic. It's just a demonstration project. It demonstrates what we can do as a people when we come together. Yeah. So I think to me, it's a very big time result because it's moving people to their homeland. There's no such thing. The feeling is just amazing. The year of 10 has managed to get Africans in the diaspora going back to Africa, not just physically, but in mind, spiritually. Yeah. It has helped with the healing process of what has happened over the past. So thank you, Nana Akufo-Addo. Thank you, all the wonderful people who work together to make sure this thing became a success. Thank you. Thank you.
All right, beautiful. Now, my last question towards the Asebu Pan-African villages. What is happening now? Is the land being distributed? Can somebody who is ready right now send in the application and expect a reply that, hey, your land is in the process, and maybe after 3 weeks or after 2 or 3 months, if you want to come to Ghana, if you want to be sent to you, it is ready. Can we say the land is ready for distribution now?
It is being allocated as I speak to you. I speak from a position of knowledge, being the CEO for the project. So it is being allocated as I speak to you. It is, the COVID slowed down the process a little bit because all the offices were closed in Ghana and navigating the system became a little bit difficult. But as we came back from it, at least it's been going very, very, very well. And we've been on top of this every single day. It's going amazingly well. So whoever has approached us to bear in mind that this is in the hands of very capable, very reputed people, and there is no cause for alarm. It is been endorsed by His Excellency, the President of Ghana. This is very close to his heart. This is going to be one of the major legacy projects of the year of return. And, I say this, that by the grace of Almighty Allah, we are winning. There has been a lot of trust issues amongst us in the past as people of Africa, as African people. We are transcending that right now. We have in place a very solid, reputable team doing the job, and there is no cause for alarm. Everything is working perfectly.
Okay.
Beautiful. May I add something to Nana Obekese's comments?
Yeah, I would like you to add, but I would like to ask a question because I was coming to you. I will. Okay, so my question is, what do you think that the ordinary African diaspora, aside everything that is going on, is ready to make that step to the motherland, to settle down in the motherland? If you can answer this and then you can add your comment to it. Do you think the ordinary African diaspora is ready to come to the motherland?
No.
No. Okay.
I'll tell you why. It's a longer answer, but to try to simplify my comment on to add to Nana Obekese's remarks is that when Nana Obekese and Nana Dr. Okatachi were in Cleveland the early part of February, Nana Okatachi told me that the inspiration for his setting aside 5,000 acres of land was Akufo-Addo's designation as 2019 year of return. Because in the mind of Okatachi, there's very little reason to return if there's not some incentive that convinces people that they could actually stay, live, and grow. So it's an outgrowth of Akufo-Addo's designation of the year of return that prompted Nana Okatachi to set aside this land. And as we were told by Malcolm X, land is the basis of independence. Nana Okatachi sees that without land, it's difficult for people to feel like they will be accepted, rooted, and they can actually be welcomed in an area. Okay. So here's why I say no to that question. Because Africans in the diaspora, particularly in the United States, the African American and the Ghanaians, are children of enslavement and colonialism. Enslavement and colonialism are cousins. One brother came from Europe, the other brother's in the United States, but we're the children of these cousins. So this experience with these two brothers, enslavement and colonialism, have given us irrational ideas about our cousins. So we have grown up with crazy notions of what has happened to us and who has caused it. Yeah. We are suffering from some mental disorientation that has convinced us that our enemy is really the Ghanaian, and the Ghanaian thinks that their enemy is the African American. We have been confused, as Malcolm says, we've been bamboozled, duped, run astray, run amok, and now we're dealing with this confusion. But if we actually realize, as we sit here talking right now, we represent the children of the 20th generation from the time that African people were stolen and sailed across the ocean from Elmina or Cape Coast. Yeah. So you and I are related. We just don't know exactly where our relation stems from and where it branched off. Yeah. You're the survivor of people that were stolen. I'm a survivor of the people that were left in America to toil without pay for 150 years. And I'm the result of this. So the problems that I'm describing make the diaspora African descendant a little reluctant to move to another place. But the dynamics that are taking place right now, COVID-19, the George Floyd situation that has captivated the entire planet, is making people in the diaspora, the African Americans, are really thinking seriously about making a move. I get calls every day. Yeah. about what would it take to go to Ghana? What would it take to move to Ghana? Would I be welcomed in Ghana? Because now the circumstances and dynamics have made it clear, which should have been clear for 400 years, that we as African people in the United States are not welcome there.
Yeah.
As long as our labor is useful, people will tolerate us. But we are not really welcome. We've never been considered full-fledged citizens. And now it's obvious to everyone in the entire world. So people, the average person would be reluctant because of what I described. And they would also be reluctant because they think it's a long, long way. And you need a lot of money, which they don't have. And they're trying to think of all the obstacles that would prevent them from doing something that is really not as complicated as it seems to them. So mentally, they're not ready en masse. But lots of people are really considering this now. They will continue to come and explore. And Nana Okatachi has provided an incentive to do that. Most of the people that could come to Ghana and access land and build a house don't even have a house of their own right here.
Okay.
Okay. Just to add to what Nana said, it's a beautiful thing to be able to return to your home. As you well aware.
Yeah.
I know you teach somewhere in AAK, but every weekend you return to your home.
Yeah.
It's always a beautiful thing to want to return to your home or to be able to return to your home.
Yeah.
But as David Walker in 1830 said in his Walker Appeal, that powerful document that I always read, this land, talking about America, is for all the people who has contributed to build.
Okay.
So it is for us, for our people as well. It is for the African American. So if you're listening to us, and then we say, or Nana Akufo-Addo says, or Nana Kwame Nkrumah or Kelechi says, return home, it is not just about the physical return, the mental return. For you accepting your Africanness and then knowing who you are, holding true to your heritage.
Yeah.
If you are here, you are very much American like any other person. Your ancestors contributed in building this land, in making America what it is. America was built on the toil and sweat of the enslaved Africans. And then we cannot really count ourselves out from sharing in the glory. So the return to Africa is more or less a mental thing than even a physical thing.
Yeah.
But as Nana said, with all what is going on, the police brutality, and when you are a black person in America, the fact is that when you're driving and you get pulled over by the police, you don't feel same. I mean, this is the truth. It's not like you are in Ghana, you are driving, or you are in Congo or Nigeria or somewhere. The moment you are stopped, you kind of feel different.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter if you are maybe a 6th, 7th generation, or you are a new migrant from Africa. No matter what it is, there is that fear.
Okay.
So the ultimate thing will be for us to strive to be very free in a land where we have helped or contributed to build.
Okay.
But it would be wonderful, as you are well aware, there's no feeling like returning home. I mean, that's also a fact.
Wow. Wow. So I understand where both of you are coming from. There is the need, and let me ask a real quick one, Nana Kra. What 5 things, what 5 things would you say that the government of Ghana or Africa should put in place to welcome or to even help our brothers and sisters have that mentality to say, okay, now that I've seen one or two, three things, I can easily want to come home. Whether I can afford it or I cannot afford it, I have to make up my mind to come. What 5 things can you say we can put in place to make them want to come home?
Well, if I think about that in terms of immediate,
Immediate, yeah.
things that will be long term, intermediate, but there's one thing that will be immediate. And when I say come home, right now I'm talking about coming home to Ghana.
Ghana, yeah.
Not the entire continent, because I don't know the other nations as well as I know Ghana. But the one biggest thing that would encourage people to come home would be dual citizenship. That's number one on the list. That's because I'm saying that because that's what people ask me about the most.
That is citizenship, acquiring citizenship.
Acquiring citizenship is the most, because the mental disorientation, the kidnapping and transporting people from the African continent to the Americas, and then the mistreatment that's gone on for 400 years represents what would be considered the biggest identity theft in the history of the world. So what people are looking for, as Nana Obekese just mentioned, the people are looking for identity, because that's what's been stolen from us in the U.S. The identity of our homeland has been portrayed to us as negative. We are told that we didn't have any history, we had no people, the people that are connected with us sold us into slavery, and so we are victims of identity theft. So the main thing that citizenship does is it tells a person psychologically that they belong to a place, they're welcome in that place, and they have privileges in that place of the Ghanaians that walk around every day. So they're not visitors. They are fully welcomed home. So that would be the number one incentive and confidence builder if that could be achieved. The other things that I would say are numbers 2, 3, 4, and 5 are fairly easy because they exist right now. Number 2.
Can you speak up a little bit so that we can all hear you?
Number 2. If you were an alien person from another planet and you came to the U.S. today, you would be convinced that the biggest single problem in the U.S. is police misconduct. So when people come to Ghana, I remind them that the biggest problem in the U.S. that you complain about every day doesn't exist in Ghana at all.
No.
Like a plague that doesn't exist. You go to another place, the plague is not there. So when people set foot on the Ghanaian soil and begin to move around, they realize that they go from place to place to place. Big marketplaces with thousands of people and no police. Thousands of people on the streets selling things and crowded at junctions, but no police. And they don't recognize that they don't see police until I mention it to them. Then they realize how odd it is that they could be in a place with millions of people with no police officers. The people police themselves. They can't imagine living in a condition like that. So as soon as you land in Accra, you feel this comfort immediately. It's a spiritual comfort that you feel as soon as you put your feet on the ground. The people don't know that that's going to happen. So, but they walk around every day in the United States with this feeling of anxiety, this feeling of something is about to happen.
to happen. Yeah.
I have to look out for everything. So that makes your life very, very stressful. So in Ghana, the two things that they notice immediately is you have this overwhelming feeling of comfort and the removal of anxiety and stress. Then you don't see any police. Then the weather is fabulous.
Mm-hmm.
Your US dollar goes farther than you thought it would. The temperature is perfect. The food
Yeah.
is delicious. The people are friendly. So everything else is almost experienced immediately that people want to come.
Mm-hmm.
Then they just have to figure out in their mind, well, if I wanted to stay here, where would I live if I wanted to stay here? Well, Nana Okatachi has helped to alleviate that concern. There's one place you could go and you could
Mm-hmm.
develop. But most of the people that would like to leave are either millennials that are starting out
Mm-hmm.
or seniors who have pensions or savings or 501 or 401k plans, so they could retire here. So other people are trying to figure out how could they determine a way to generate revenue to actually live.
Okay.
Part of our job to help try to put in some infrastructure that employs all the Ghanaian people, that provides opportunities for other people, so that it will be an incentive to move. So if a couple things were in place, you would have a flood of people with interest and serious interest in moving.
Mm-hmm. All right. All right. Awesome. If you're watching us right now, we have 62 people watching us right now. I'll be very happy if you click on the like button on YouTube where you're watching it. I'll be very happy if you do that for us so that we can send this message across. If you're watching, I know most of you have questions. I've been reading some of it that you want to ask, but I would like us to go on, and then at a point I'll pause and then we'll answer some of your questions. So if you're watching us right now, kindly click on the subscribe button if you've not done that, and also like the button. Those of you who just joined us, I would like to introduce my guest again because he just joined us. In the middle, we have Nana Kwame Nakra the second. He is an African diaspora, and then he is Tufohin of Atonkwa in Elmina. There's a community in Ghana called Elmina, and he is one of the sub chiefs. And he is also the provost of Obekese University of Excellence, which we'll be talking about pretty soon. And then the last person who is wearing the Muslim thing, I don't know the name they give to it. He is my big boss, Nana Obekese Ampa. He's the CEO of everything that has to do with Asebu Free Land. And he is also the Apejamhin of Asebu traditional area. So as I'm speaking to them, I'm privileged to be speaking to two beautiful, awesome chiefs right here from the motherland. All right, so let's go on with my next question. I mean, I'm very glad that you've mentioned some of the things that if we do, we can easily bring our brothers and sisters to the motherland. Now, both of you spoke about police brutality. Nana Obekese, as an African, speaking from when I say African, meaning you were born and bred here, what do you think that Africans can do to support or to help this police brutality and everything that is going on, especially in the United States? What can Africans do to help?
Very good question. I think first of all, I want to say a big thank you to the AU. They finally put together, a document to the UN. This is something that Malcolm X talked about. It's long overdue, but they finally did it, I think, last week to, as a result of the George Floyd incidents. So they finally approached the UN to consider looking into police brutality against our people in America. So it doesn't get better than that. I'm excited by that. And I think, it's in a very right direction. Also, just 2 days ago, this is just something that happened to me personally.
Wow.
I went to Starkville Plantation.
Mm-hmm.
Starkville Plantation is in Durham area of North Carolina, and during the slave trade period, it housed the biggest, the largest amount of slaves or enslaved
Mm-hmm.
Africans.
Mm-hmm.
And for the very first time, I cried. I felt so bad. Growing
Wow.
up in Cape Coast, walking around the dungeon every day, Echo, you understand what we see
Yeah.
every day.
Yeah.
So I understood it from the point of the door of no return. I understood the narrative from that point. And coming here, seeing, living, how people live and how marginalized our people are and everything kind of hit me. But when I went to see the plantation for the first time, I go, whenever you come here, I'll take you. It
Wow.
made me aware that this thing really happened. It's
Mm-hmm.
not like I didn't know that it happened, but seeing the dungeon and coming to the plantation, it kind of squared it up. And the bad things that happened over there, there's an adjacent river to the plantation called the News River.
Mm-hmm.
And I was made to understand that the name is called News River because the people, our people who would try to kind of learn to read or write or try to put up any form of resistance,
Mm-hmm.
that is why they take you to the News River to hang a noose on your neck and then they will kill you. If
Wow.
you try to speak your motherland, your mother tongue, your language, like I call, if you try to speak Fanti, they cut off your tongue. Learning to read and to write was an illegal act, was an offense
Wow.
if you were a slave.
Wow.
And then you can't communicate. Even worshiping, you have to hide. The same God that they introduced to us, Christianity. If you want to come together to worship, you have to hide. I think Nana Kra will speak to that better than I do, that I can do. But why do I say this? The railway system, when it started after the Civil War, 1865, was built on slave labor.
Mm-hmm.
People who own slaves, the plantation that I went to belongs to the Benham Cameron family. And then they will exchange slave labor for shares in the railway. So it's like you have like 20,000 people, whatever number, and then you take them to Vodafone or MTN. Hey, these guys are going to work for you so that I get shares. Do you
Mm-hmm.
understand what I mean?
Yeah, 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 I get it.
So our people did this work for 200 years to build America for free.
Mm-hmm.
They were not paid at all. They did the work and they worked every day, and the white slave master benefited from the wealth. So for a long period of time, that was a transfer of wealth from generations to generations. As we were enslaved, we were beaten, we are still stained by slavery. And what I'm trying to say is this: apart from police brutality, I think
Mm-hmm.
apart from police brutality, that Africa AU has written to the UN for a formal investigation to begin into here in the US. I will also challenge African governments to,
Mm-hmm.
as a matter of urgency, approach the issue of reparation with no further delay.
Okay.
It is just unfair that a group of people will work for 200 years for no pay to benefit another group. And we want to talk about globalization. You want to talk about free trade. How it is messed up. The fundamentals are wrong. I mean, as an African, I am trained to understand that fair is fair.
Yeah.
So as a matter of urgency, the fight is not for the only African diaspora to wage. It is for their leaders in the motherland, the African government, the kings, the king of Morocco, that's Santehene, the Zulu king, King Swatini, all of them. The only of Ife, we have to come together because the chairman fee, all of them, we see, all of them. We need to send a strong signal that it is not just right for a group of people to work for 200 plus years without pay, and their benefit, which is wealth, is there for other people to enjoy. And then we're talking about democracy, we're talking about rule of law, we're talking about justice. It's messed up. It is up to us as African people, our leaders, to come together to ensure that the right thing is done. So I'll use this opportunity to call on the Office of Diaspora Affairs, Ghana, Honorable Obekese, table this to the president. Let's get this straight. It's very important. It's not just about police brutality, but from what I saw at Starkville, I've made it a point to, from today, from now going, whenever the opportunity is given, I'm going to say a little bit, or I'm going to push the issue of preparation.
Right. The government must act fast. They must put certain things in place for our brothers and sisters to easily repatriate to the motherland. Nana Kwame II, your take on this? What can, now he has made mention of what the Africans and the motherland can do to support or to help, the fight against what is going on now. What do you think the African American, I say African American because this is where the thing is happening. What can the African American community or the Black community do in order to prevent or to stop this?
Well, what we're talking about is the heart of the problem now. And what we have to do is to recognize the similarities between the African Americans in America and all the Africans on the continent of Africa.
Okay.
Because it's not just police misconduct. That's the visible sign to tell us there's a problem. But the problems are really systemic. And the police are part of the system of racism and white supremacy that permeates every aspect of life. So, but that's no different in a way than if we look at colonialism throughout the African continent. You realize that all the people on the African continent have worked for low pay or no pay for the benefit of the colonial powers. And it was all systematically put in place. So the colonials came to Ghana and removed the chieftaincy or diminished the significance of the chieftaincy, structured the government to suit its needs, provided for the courts to support its rulings, put in place an educational system to serve the needs of the British. And so the entire system is what needs to be revamped, changed, removed, replaced, however you look at it. And we need to look in Ghana, for example, and throughout the African continent, look at the implications of the Berlin Conference in 1885 that created all of these states and put in place the entire apparatus to make sure that the African people would serve the needs of Europeans. So one thing that the African continent can do as quickly as possible is not really associated directly with the U.S. situation currently, but it will impact it. If the African people would make sure that the African Continental Free Trade Agreement would work, dismantle the French receiving $500 billion from African Francophone nations, stop that, stop the petty intertribal or ethnic issues, recognize that Africans on the continent coming together creates a huge incentive for Africans everywhere to come together and see the potential we have if we were together. Because the only thing holding us back now is not the police misconduct.
Yeah.
If we knew that you, Echo, and I were brothers, we actually knew that in our heart and in our soul, we would move to figure out how can we maximize that knowledge.
That knowledge, yeah.
But we would leave the condition where the police are. We would go someplace else where we don't have that problem.
Yeah.
So Africans coming together will probably do the biggest job of encouraging progress, because African Americans and others in the diaspora, because of educational structures, despite enslavement, have been permitted to get some developed skills and knowledge and expertise.
Yeah.
That even with the horrors of slavery, we've still gained some understanding of things. And as Nana Obekese said, see, the system was put in place in the US. On the African continent, the system of life tends to be an oral tradition. So your elders tell you things, and their elders told them things. And so it's passed down by word of mouth. In the US, they set up a system that's all written down.
Okay.
Everything is written down. So if they say, Nicole, you have to follow the law, but you can't learn to read now. So now you can't understand what's going on.
Yeah, you just have to follow.
You just have to follow, and you have to believe the white man is telling you what is beneficial, but that's never been the case. So if you're caught with a book, like Nana said, we'll cut your fingers off, we'll cut your tongue out, and then that will teach other people, don't pick up any books. But everything is written down in the US. So if you could read, you could find out what's happening to you. That's why they make it illegal for you to read. So you can't know what's happening to you. So in spite of all of these things, the ancestors and the generations that have followed have fought against these things to the point that I have a law degree now. I have a doctor of philosophy degree. We have doctors, lawyers, teachers. So we've been able to gain lots of information that we use to really help uplift our Ghanaian brothers and sisters, or Senegalese brothers and sisters. It could be used anywhere because it's a vital, valuable tool to help upliftment and advancement. So the best thing, I mean, the thing I'm most encouraged by are two things now that I heard. The UNIA and a number of other organizations are pledged to work together to help repatriate African Americans or other diaspora. So there's a concerted effort to do this now. The free trade agreement can work. It will be a massive injection of confidence that African people can actually dismantle the apparatus. So the free trade agreement is an attempt to dismantle the infrastructure of colonialism. So if we can do that, it will stimulate others to do the same thing, because it will be so exciting that we can actually trade with each other. And we all know, and so do foreigners, know that the African continent is the last place on earth that has over 50% of the natural resources, minerals in the ground. There's no surprise that the Chinese want to come there, Japanese want to come there, Indians want to come there, because everything they need is there.
Right.
And likewise, everything we need is there.
Yeah. Yeah.
So we just need each other. And we could tell them we don't need their help. We don't need their support. We can do all of this ourselves. And we have all the resources and the manpower and the natural ability to do things. So we don't really need any outsiders. We could actually go on our own and not have any need for anyone else on the planet. But the other people can't do that.
Yeah.
They have to come to Africa because that's where the things are.
The thing is that that's where the resources are. That's where a lot of them are coming.
And they want everything in Africa except the people.
Mm-hmm.
If they remove all the people from Africa, they would be happy.
And okay, so they don't want Africans, but they want Africa.
Yes.
Wow. Wow. Let me quickly go through some of the comments that are coming so that we can, have the interaction with them and all that. So I'll go through them. The ones that need to be answered, we go through and then we answer them. So let me make it a little bit bigger so that we can all read from where we are. Okay. The mindset must be changed because there are so many brothers and sisters who pray to one day that day will come. I saw a question here. He said, I believe even if the African American cannot move physically, they should at least move mentally. They should invest in projects in Africa that will yield good growth. Do we agree with that? Yes, I personally I agree that not every African in diaspora can move to the motherland. So what is your take on that? Any of you?
In my view, that what David Hutchinson is saying is absolutely correct.
Mm-hmm.
The reason being, the problems that we're having are really psychological problems in nature.
Mm-hmm.
Our perceptions that have us so confused. So you're right. Everyone won't move to Africa. And it won't be necessary for everyone to move to Africa physically. But if we became Pan-African in our psychology and saw ourselves as all African people, we would then do what the Chinese do in the United States. All the Chinese people in the United States live inside of other states in a place called Chinatown.
Mm-hmm.
So they have recreated their motherland on the northern hemisphere in North America. So they're inside New York City in their own city because they have the consciousness and the cultural cohesion that they know it's in their interest to behave like Chinese people do, not to mimic and adopt the behaviors and attitudes of the Americans that they come in contact with. They're living in another place, but their culture is not changed.
Okay.
Abandon their culture to live in that place. Now, African Americans with their identity theft, see, over 20 generations, you don't have any culture.
Mm-hmm.
Culture is gone, it's forgotten. It's been so long, you don't remember things. So it's up to us to begin to work. That's what African can do for us now. The African Association will help put us in touch with what our culture actually is. So we can live within the context of that culture in America. That's what I'm doing. I live in Cleveland, Ohio. But mentally, I'm a Ghanaian citizen and a chief in Atonkwa.
Atonkwa, yeah.
I around every day in Cleveland, but everybody knows that my mentality has very little to do with Cleveland. It has everything to do with Ghana.
Okay.
We can do what Judy's saying is the same thing. We can become aware that part of our problem is we don't have the consciousness that would allow us to live a healthy life. in the most stressful environment on the planet Earth in the United States. So I spend much of my time telling Ghanaians, don't be fooled by what you see on television. The United States may look pretty and looks exciting, and they show you that everybody's wealthy and happy, but that's not the reality once you get there. So you're going to be confused and disappointed and depressed because it's not like that. That's like a movie that you're watching. That's not real life. So we will be able to move these ideas forward. And the more people we don't need everyone in Ghana, for example, but we do need a critical mass of people so we have enough people that can demonstrate what can actually happen.
Okay.
Myself, I'm one person. So if you say, well, that's just one person can do lots of things. But if we had a community like the Pan-African Village, now you have maybe 1,000 people.
Mm-hmm.
Can demonstrate what can actually be done. And there's a couple thousand, 4,000 diasporans living in Ghana right now. So there's evidence that things can be done. People can be inculcated and infused into the culture, and it works. So we just, like Nana Obekese said, this is a demonstration project of what is possible.
Mm-hmm.
What everybody needs to do. So, but if our consciousness became Pan-African, we would see in the United States that we can do things to solve our problems right now if we just have a Pan-African attitude. The police problem we can solve if we had a Pan-African attitude and saw all of us in the same position. Then we would deal with it differently rather than saying, well, Echo must have done something because that's why he got in trouble. But maybe he didn't do anything. Maybe he didn't. Maybe it's a setup. He didn't do anything at all.
Yeah.
If we all could put ourselves in your place, we would say, well, let's look at this. Let's examine this. Maybe there's something going on, and enough people are telling us that something's going on. And George Floyd has become such a lightning rod, I believe, because everybody in the world in real time could see what was happening. And there's no spin that you can put on that to change anybody's impression that this was murder. In broad daylight, in front of an audience that was broadcast across this world.
This world, yeah. All right. Nana Obekese, there's this question. Okay, go ahead.
Just to add to what Nana Chris said, I will, one brother Hutchinson said something beautiful that, it's not just about physical movement to Africa, but people can also invest in Africa for positive growth. I think these are all things that we can do to change our story, to connect some more, and then to develop ourselves as people of the same tree, people of one family. Now, if you ask me that, do I think that all Africans in America should move to Africa? My answer would be no. Because like I said earlier on, we have helped build this nation. Our people have helped build this nation. And we rightfully can lay claim to this nation. This is a great nation, don't get it wrong. The issue is that it is not so great for our people. But this is a great nation. So how do we make it great for our people? For whatever has been happening, the George Floyd issues and everything, we have never been talking of revenge. We have been talking of justice. So morally, it's in our DNA to do good, to seek for justice, but not to revenge or anything. So we got to be here. Our people, they have to still be here and continue fighting for equality, for justice. till we get there, because we can rightfully lay claim to this place as well. Now, how do we go back to Africa? If some have to stay here, if some don't have the money to go, if some don't have the means to invest in Africa, the least you can do to go back to Africa is to change the slave name, as Monica Carter just put on the platform. Let's change our names. It is pathetic to just look at very excellent people and then they still hold on to slave names. I say pathetic because times have changed. You can get your African name back.
Yeah.
If someone names you, you know what it means.
You
if you
belong
name a person, you name your son, you name your, we have to be able to kind of embark on an exercise to change our names. There's no point in us using slave names in 21st century, with all due respect. So I will use this platform to call on all our brothers and sisters, not only in the diaspora. It is even worse in Ghana. It is worse in Nigeria. It is worse in Senegal. In Congo. We need to come back to our Africanness. We need to embark on a movement to change all these names. It doesn't make sense. It's a very serious issue, and we don't have to wait any further on this. There has to be a movement to change our names. We have beautiful names. Look at Echo, look at Kwamina, look at Obekese. These are all beautiful names, and there are 1 million more names to be taken. It's not like the names are finished.
May I add something to that, Nana?
Sure.
These things are things that we can both do. We can all do. Because the actual agenda of enslavement and colonialism is to instill a certain self-hatred and also the envy of Europeans. So these are the two dynamics that are working all the time. Is to make us feel less pleased with ourselves and more envious of the European colonizer or the European master.
Yeah.
So how has this affected us? Today, we have African American people. I'm talking about simple things. We have African American people that bear the names of European people. They don't bear any African names, really. And the counterpart to that, in Ghana right now, and I'm sure in other nations too, you have people that bear the names of the colonial powers. So I come to Ghana and I see lots of people, that, young men and women, the names are Stephen, Jeff, Charles, Amos. These are not Ghanaian names. So these are names that were given to people by the British or other colonizers. So since we feel that they are smart and they're capable and their schools are better, we bear their names even today. So we could eliminate those names. One thing I'm happy to see about you, your name is Eko. I know what that means when you were introduced to me yesterday, because that's a Ghanaian day name.
Yeah.
Charles, I would say, well, why is your name Charles? Because you have a day name. I know you have a day name, so why are you choosing to call yourself Charles or Francis? These are not your names. So part of the consciousness that we could develop would develop by the use of our own name. Because
if I will come.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, if I will come in a little bit, you see, the whole colonization thing, they brought in what they call Christianity. And mostly they have turned Ghana or even some of the African countries to be a Christian country. And we've been made to believe that such names are even Christian names. So sometimes you go to certain places and then I mention my name is Echo Simpson, and they're like, so you don't have a Christian name. So that makes us feel like since Ghana was kind of like built on a Christian level, then everybody must have that Christian name. So if we should change that mindset that having a name doesn't depict whether you're a Christian or not, then we'll get to understand why some of us will have to give birth and stop giving them the so-called Christian name, which is the European name. So you see, the mind game that they've given it to us is that they want to change everything about Africa by using Christianity. So they are relating the European names to being a Christian. So therefore, when you're a Christian, you need to have a Christian name. You see, that is what has changed most of us into naming our children maybe with Stephen, Charles, and all that, because we feel, okay, since you're a Christian, you need to name them with that Christian name. But most of the people, I beg to differ, but when last 4 years, I was part of the electoral commission, processing, registering people for the voting and all that. And in my rural community where I teach, anybody who is after maybe 50 years and over never has a Christian name.
Right.
Like Kweku Mensa, Manata Yabua, those kind of things. So it means that after 50 years, coming down, we feel like Christianity must be part of us. So therefore, we have to give ourselves all these Christian name and order. So, like Nana Obekese said, we need to start that should come as a whole project on its own, like a whole idea where we're gonna fight ourselves, our brothers and sisters, to deal with that way of naming our children traditionally, if I should say so, or like in our culture, right? So I believe what you're saying can be done. It's a new project that I think maybe the three of us we need to start posting and talking about it. That hey, enough of the Christian name. Which are the European names? Let's come back to our names.
You're right. Nicole, you said something.
So a new project is born today.
Yeah, a new project is born today. Have your own local Ghanaian name. Yeah.
But Nicole, you made the perfect statement when you said we have been made to believe.
Yeah.
Doesn't mean it's true. It means
It's
you've
true.
been made to believe. So part of what we have to do, we've all been made to believe that Europeans are better than us.
Yeah. Yeah.
We've been made to believe that. That's not true, but we've been made to believe it. So we could be made to believe something else. We don't have to continue to believe that because we now know that that's not true. And your name has a particular vibration to it that's African. When you say it, the sound resonates with your spirit in a way that Stephen doesn't. So this name you have is not alien to you.
Mm-hmm.
When you hear it, it's sweeter in its sound and its feeling
Mm-hmm.
than if your name was Charles or Francis or Jeffrey or Jefferson. See, that name doesn't resonate with your body and your spirit.
There's this video that I saw, and there's a black man who is called Emmanuel White Man. I'm like, what name is that? Quickly, let me ask you, Nana Obekese, there's a question. Moving back to Africa will only be for those of us who can afford it. Now, what plans can we put in place to help the countless brothers and sisters who can't even afford a passport? What can we do? Nana Obekese, before Bobby comes in.
Okay.
Like I first suggested, I am a believer of the appeal that our people need to be here because we have struggled to make this place what it is.
Mm-hmm.
So the people comes in different shades. There are people who cannot go right now. Their financial situation will not allow them. This movement, to me, is like a pilgrimage. When you go to Islam, the Holy Book will tell you that one of the 5 pillars of Islam is that at least I go to Mecca, Hajj, perform Hajj once in your lifetime if you can afford. As black people in the diaspora, I would suggest that if you can afford, then make the trip. If you cannot, it's fine. We are struggling, we'll keep on struggling to make this place a better place for us. I mean, America or Europe or anywhere. But as you are here, the least you can do is to return mentally to Africa. And like I just said, you can change your name. If you don't have money to buy or to go do a passport, at least you have the right to change your name. So you can change your name at least. And then you should begin to see yourself as an African person. You should accept your heritage. These are stuff that we can do to return. It's not just about the physical return. Okay. And one other thing that I will also encourage is that we will need to intermarry. The Africans who moved here first, like 400 years ago, and Africans still home, and Africans who be coming. You know, when you see a Chinese man who is a 6th generation Chinese in America, and then you see a Chinese man coming from Guangzhou yesterday, they see themselves as Chinese people. Straight up. There's not even a feeling that this is a Chinese American, this is a Chinese man. They are Chinese. If you see an Irish come here this morning, and then there's been an Irish here who is a 7th generation, whatever, they see themselves as Irish. Same with Italians, same with everyone. So we need to make conscious efforts to begin to see ourselves as Africans, period.
Okay.
And this will come about when we begin to trust each other some more, when we begin to intermarry, when we begin to use our names, when we truly accept who we are as a people of African descent.
Okay.
I think we'll be making waves.
Okay.
So we should intermarry. I bet you, the African brothers, like people who come, they are very good guys. Same with the ladies. And then same with the African American, allow me to use this. They are very wonderful people. We were made to believe through the Western media that our people here are violent. They don't want to work. They don't want to do anything. And our people here too were made to believe that Africans back home don't want to take their shower. They're living on trees. Let me ask you this question.
Right.
Nana that you are talking to, the gentleman, does he look like a violent person?
The gentleman that I'm speaking to right now?
Yes. Nana Pamlaka, does he look like a violent person to you?
No.
Yes. He's an excellent man with great values, doing wonderful family man. And Echo, let me also ask you, do I look like somebody who has not taken his shower this morning?
You are looking perfect. You are looking perfect. I mean,
So what I'm trying to tell you is this: those times are gone.
Yeah,
we get it now. Our people are very magnificent. In fact, the African American economy today, it's the 7th strongest economy in the world. The African American woman, the purchasing power is so strong. They work, they are engineers, they are lawyers, they are professionals, and Africa has 30% of the most important natural resources today on the face of the planet. So just imagine if there's a place with 30% of the most important natural resources in the world today, and the place has its people with the 7th biggest economy in the world today. If we throw aside propaganda and we are able to come together, just imagine what will happen. The African American today is the most educated black person on the face of the planet.
Wow.
We have to embrace them. We have to work with them. We have to court them. They are our people. That is a fact. So I take this very personal. We need to come together. We need to adapt our names. We need to readapt our names. These are our names. You are not Smith. You are no Johnson. You are you are not certain. You have names before they made it illegal for you to use your name. They made it illegal so they can control your mind. Not
Right.
Something that we were happy to just begin changing our names. It was a systematic effort towards a special end result, what is showing today. So we have to change it. We have to begin to change it. We have to change our names. We have to intermarry. We have to get much closer. And then already we are leading in the moral front.
Yeah.
So if we get these basics right, ain't nobody is going to stop us.
Right. Right. Nana, what do you say about it? Somebody's already giving you a shout out. I said, Dr. Kradevi, this is Corina from African.
I know her. I know
yeah.
her.
Okay, so it means that you have a lot of people following you and learning from you and all that. So let me drop it here, and then we go back to our discussion so we can end it so that our brothers and sisters can do what they want to do. Now with year of return, I'm saying this to land on something right now. With this year of return, there has been issues. I mean, frequently with the George Floyd issue, police brutality, everybody talking about it, with a system that is not favoring the African American or the black person in the United States and all that. There comes in the year of return, and we have already discussed some few things. Now let's look at what are we doing or what is in the pipeline that is at least we will sit up and say, okay, even though there's some issues going on over there, we are also trying to build something that will one day or in the near future will also aid in the repatriation of our brothers and sisters to the motherland. This brings up to the project that Nana Obekese is doing right now with some of you awesome personalities in the United States. So I would like to ask you, the year of return has given birth to one of the projects that I'm even witnessing, which is right now that Nana Obekese Ampa is championing, which is the Obekese University of Excellence. Before we come into that, Nana Kra, what is Fraser Nation? I want to know what Fraser Nation is.
Fraser Nation is a virtual nation of the 48 million African Americans and other diasporans to do what Nana Obekese was just talking about, to bring these people together into one large virtual entity that will have its own constitution, its own flag, its own objectives, its own code of conduct, its own behaviors, and it will be focused on two things: developing the African Americans through collective skills, talents, expertise, and intellectual capital to make us stronger. And second, to take those same tools and try to interface with African nations to help do some mutually beneficial collaborations and partnerships and alliances so that we can move our people all over this planet forward.
Okay.
So we want the people in the US, for example, to see that if you could be a part of your own nation, and we orchestrated and took full advantage of the skills, talents, and expertise that we have, you could deal more effectively with the nation that is giving you so much resistance and difficulty right now. So we are powerful, as Nana Obekese has mentioned, in terms of buying power and spending power and intellectual capacity, but it's not organized in a way that we can effectively use it. So Fraser Nation is designed to create a virtual nation that will be the same as Ghana is a physical nation.
Okay.
Will have its own teaching, its own business, its own goals and objectives, just like any other nation.
Yeah.
It will have its citizens and it will have its passport. And we will try to take this concept and move it into the global arena as a virtual entity that has the same power, the same authority as any physical nation on the planet.
Wow, beautiful. So, with this explanation of what Fraser Nation is, Nana Obekese, how do we relate this to the new project that you're working with? And I would like you to mention maybe few names of brothers and sisters from the diaspora who are in support of this Obekese University of Excellence.
Well, Eko, thank you very much for this question. And let me also use the opportunity, as you suggested, to thank Dr. George Fraser, who is the president of Fraser Nation, as Nana Kwame Nkrumah II just described. I also like to thank Nana Kwame Nkrumah himself, the man who has given me this wonderful direction. Nana, thank you. I say this with a lot of pride. Fraser Nation is in partnership with the Obekese Foundation to establish the Obekese University of Excellence. And this project was launched on 23rd of May 2020 with a very wonderful people, including Excellency Ambassador Arikana Chihambori Kwao, the president of ADDI, that's African Diaspora Development Institute, who is the former ambassador of AU to the USA. Also, we had Professor PLO Lumumba. We had Honorable Akwesi Ewa Abebio, Director, Diaspora Affairs Officer, the President. We had Her Excellency Ambassador Thelma Philip Brown, Ambassador to the US from St. Kitts and Nevis. We had Nana Kra himself. We had a whole lot of people. If I'm mentioning, it's going to take till tomorrow. But this is an idea that which time has come. And it is happening. We are starting online classes from September 21st. And then we are starting to build a brick and mortar university from 3rd week of November. This university is not the ordinary university. This is going to be the first African-centered higher learning institution. It is going to be an experience of teaching and learning that is embedded in the African culture.
All right.
So it is going to be the first full-fledged African-centered university. I say this with a lot of admiration and pride for my father and mentor, Nana Kwame Nkrumah V, the Omahin of Iskado. This idea emanated from a book that he wrote. This is what books are supposed to do, to challenge us, to come out with the ideas and Newtons. And I won't quote. So Nana called for a new approach to Africanness. Nana said that the type of system we have in Ghana or in Africa has Europeanized us. So we may be working on the surface of African soil, all right, but we are all a bunch of Europeans, so to speak. So how do we go back to our Africanness? And then he suggests that all the problems or issues that confront us, there are inherent solutions in our Africanness.
Mm-hmm.
So all we have to do is to go back to our Africanness. And
Okay.
Obekese University of Excellence is positioned to serve as an example to transform the structure and system of education in Africa, beginning from Ghana.
Wow. Wow. This is something huge. But as I'm a bit curious. Assuming I'm in the States and I get to hear of the Obekese University, who are the prospects? Who are we looking at to enroll in such a virtual or in such an institution? Nana Kra, as a provost of the university, who are the prospects?
Well, the prospects for the online offerings are anyone on the African continent that can access the platform with a phone, with a computer, a tablet, and internet service can log on and sign up for courses or offerings or certificate programs to provide an accelerated way to introduce young people or older people to the ideas, the content, the skill development, the history, the understanding of history in the most efficient and quick manner.
Mm-hmm.
That will be available to anyone. Let me comment on a couple of things that I saw listed. Several people have had commentary mentioning that, well, if people can't afford to go to Africa, how would they get there? Well, the first thing I would say, and it may sound a little bit coarse or flippant from coming from me, but one of the psychological things that we have to do is to remove the idea of the lack of resources in the form of money that's preventing us from doing things.
Yeah.
Because if we look at our ancestors in the US, for example, after 200 years of plantation life and enslavement, when they came out, they had no money, no skills, no credentials, nothing, but they built communities, they built schools, they did things. So money, the lack of money can't be our reason for why we conclude that we can't do things.
Yeah.
So we lack money for a passport, for example, and we were thinking as a Pan-African people, 10 people could get together, pool their money so that one person could get a passport.
Mm-hmm.
Let the one person go and try to do something to lay the groundwork for other people to come. So
Yeah.
these are things that we've done all the time. And so we can't say to ourselves that the reason we can't do this is because we don't have money. Well, we can figure a way to get the money. We can get together and pool the money. So don't let your mind tell you that you can't afford something. And the reason is you don't have money.
Mm-hmm.
Because that's the first liberation, is your psychological liberation that tells you that you can do things. So don't put roadblocks in front of your own ability to do something. That's just the mental orientation. Now, that doesn't mean it doesn't take work, but everything takes money. Everything you do takes money. Everything you do takes something. So don't just saying it's not simple, but don't put obstacles in front of your own movement.
Yeah.
Before you put forth an effort. Because we actually believe, if we were thinking like African people, really, we know that if we start out on a project, our ancestors are going to provide us with the resources we need to get that project done. I don't care what it is. I don't care what we don't have. As long as we have the commitment, we have the continuity of our effort, and we put forth the effort that we are capable of, we believe that our ancestors are going to provide us with the resources. Now, if we think like a European, we say, well, we got to save up the money first. But in Africa, we say, I don't have to save up the money. I just have to start going towards the goal. I'll find the money on my way. I'll figure out how to generate the money as I proceed. But I'll never get there if I'm just going to sit here and wait for everything to come to me. It doesn't work like that. So we have the same thing. I don't know where the money's going to come from to do these things, but I know if we start doing them, the money's going to come from somewhere.
Yeah. Right. Right. This is another question that I want to ask. I know most of us, when we want to acquire knowledge, when we want to go to school, we have the wish, we have the passion. We wish we could get this skill and all that. Some of us, like maybe like myself, wouldn't be able to afford everything. I mean, when the school starts and all that. Is there a special scholarship for students, like when they make up their mind to do it? This comes to you, Nana Obekese. Is there a special scholarship for us should we want to enroll in Obekese University of Excellence?
Well, this project is a movement
Okay.
to transform our education and, in the long run, our mindset. So there are going to be a whole lot of free programs for people who are willing to embark on this issue, this issue of transformation of the mind. So we are working on the courses. There's been a lot of people, good people, submitting programs to be placed on the university website. And in the next few weeks, it will all be ready on our website for people to enroll. So I say this from a position of knowledge that there will be some free programs for people to enrich their minds.
Okay.
The whole project is being positioned to help us develop the mind. So there will be free programs as well as paid for programs for people to go to experience what education for our people should look like, so that we get the right kind of Africans produced. The idea is this. Nana Kwame Nkrumah told me something. Nana, so what about instead of one Kwame Nkrumah in Ghana, if every year we can produce 10 Kwame Nkrumah, or 10 Julius Nyerere, or 10 Patrice Lumumba, or 10 Martin Luther King. So this special project, the Obekese University of Excellence, is positioned to produce the right kind of Africa to move the continent and its children forward. There's going to be some free programs coming up soon on the website. And I would like you to show the website of the university on your screen for people to go there and to see what the Obekese University of Excellence it's all about.
Okay.
It is
Nana, can I
www.obokese.edu.gh as in Ghana. obokese.edu.gh as it shows up here. When you go, you will find the right information about why we are doing what we are doing. And then if you have programs that you think will help, feel free to contact us. The provost, Nana, can you give Echo your email address, your personal email as well? You can write to info@obukasi.edu.gh. But I would suggest that you can also email the provost. And I give Echo your email so he puts it on the screen.
Okay, Echo, it's ASHE.
ASHE.
ASHE. The number one. LTD.
LTD.
At Gmail.
Gmail.com.
Yes.
So it's ASHE number one.
Number one LTD. Limited,
yes,
like limited.
LTD. Limited, right.
Yes. So you can feel free to write to the provost with all information that you may have. If you have any contributions to make to this very important project, by way of if you are a scholar, if you have an African curriculum, if you wanna, you want a street or a hall to be named after you. If you are looking to change Africa by changing the mindset, if you are looking to change the children of Africa by changing the mindset, this is the platform project.
Yeah.
Now, may I add to that, Nana?
Yeah, go ahead.
Because a couple people, someone made an excellent idea. I don't know if I have the authority to agree to it, but I like it.
What did he say so that I can pull it up?
I know what it is. The question was, can we turn in our European names and be given African or Akan Day names?
Yeah.
A platform. I think that's an excellent idea. That if it was approved by other chiefs or Nana Obekese, we could do that. And the people could then, when they come to Ghana, they could go through the formal ceremonial aspect, but we could do that online, which would give people the opportunity to begin the psychological transformation. And when they go, they can do something else. And if they never went, they at least have something to get them started. So that's one thing. The second thing is that this university is an investment in the development of African people. So I sponsor college students at UCC right now.
Wow, beautiful.
Teachers at my school sponsor school fees for students at Atankwa or other schools. They pay the school fees. So people could actually adopt students from the US that they could be involved with. They could contact me and say, I'd like to sponsor a student. They would be helping to develop the next generation. The other thing I'd like to comment on, if there was, we would probably think in terms of developing a mechanism to screen prospective students.
Mm-hmm.
The university is not going to be able to accommodate every single person. So that means there has to be a screening process so that you have the serious-minded student that you know will develop into a serious graduate who is likely to advance the interest of Ghana. And that's where we would get people to sponsor that individual, just like I sponsor students at UCC. So if you have a good potential candidate, a serious-minded individual that you feel if they were developed, they would actually help develop the continent or develop Ghana specifically, then we will try to get people to sponsor them so that we know that people don't have money.
Yeah.
So if they don't have money, if they have the integrity, they have the drive, they have the interest in developing themselves, and they have the understanding of their responsibility upon completion to help lift up their brothers and sisters. Now that's a person that you would invest in. And you would get people to make that investment because it serves the interests of all of us. So all of these things can be done if we have an African sense of who we are. And
Right.
so it's not difficult. It's not difficult. It sounds difficult because we're dealing with what appears to be a indestructible colonial, post-colonial apparatus, but that's not that indestructible. We could do 3 or 4 things and begin to change and transform our people. And I'm convinced of that because I've done it. So I know it's doable.
Okay. Okay.
Thank you.
Okay.
Echo, I would like to answer some question that was scrolling on your lesson.
Yeah.
What Nana said is excellent, and I believe in him. He was the first to believe in this even before me. I'm a convert.
Mm-hmm.
So I say this with pride that the idea is blessed with very good people to make sure it moves from vision to fruition. And we are going to build it. Sister Judy asked, where is it going to be built? It's going to be built at Asebu. It's going to be built at Asebu. It's going to be built at Asebu to complement the Asebu Pan-African Village project. And also, a brother talked about how we can assist people get visas and all that. I think the government of Ghana is doing an amazing job. Most of the Caribbean nations, as we speak, have a visa waiver, as in they have visa free to Ghana. It's a work in progress. I'll personally be working closely with the St. Kitts and Nevis as they push the same agenda to get a visa free. I set the ambassador to the US. I set up with the Ghana mission, and they move it to Ghana. It's in the process. It's moving forward. So what we should remember is that Ghana is a sovereign nation, and issues like visa free and all that, it's process that needs to respect international protocols and all that. But
Okay.
the president of Ghana, His Excellency Akufo-Addo, this issue is very close to his heart, and he's working effectively on it to make sure that our brothers and sisters can get dual citizenship so they don't even need visa to go in the first place. Now, also another brother asked that he paid his processing fee for the land at Asebu in March and it's delayed. It is true. The COVID affected all of the operations in Ghana. We just came back and things are moving seriously with speed. So do not be worried. As I said earlier on, this is in the hands of very capable, equitable people, and there's no cause of alarm. The Director of Diaspora Affairs at the Office of the Presidency sits on the board of these projects. The Executive Director of Pan Affairs, Rabbi Cohen Alevi, sits on the board. Okodechi Professor Amanfi the seventh is the board chairman. This Okodechi is a member of the National Development Planning Commission, the highest group of people in Ghana, the body that advises the president on how our development patterns should move by the Constitution of Ghana, especially by the Constitution of Ghana. So this is a very solid team. There is no cause for alarm. We just need to believe in ourselves. The propaganda has fought us for a while, for a long time. We need to get over it. We are going to build Africa for Africans home and abroad, as it was said by the Honorable Marcus Mozayagabi. This time we will get it right.
Right. Beautiful. So I would like to add this. Somebody made a statement that we want, even if we can't be in Ghana, to have a change of name. This can be done in the United States. I mean, wherever you are in the Western world, especially because we're referring to United States. So Nana Obekese, he's a sub chief inside in the Asebu Traditional Council.
Nana, I'm not a sub chief.
No, you are a chief. Sorry. No, you are a chief. Sorry for you. So Nana Obekese is a chief, right, in from Asebu Traditional Council, and he is currently in the United States, and Nanakra is also in the United States. So I just placed my email there with the name, with the title naming ceremony, and that is my email. So anybody who wanna have his or her name changed to the African name, please send me an email with this title. So I will compile all the list and then send it to them over there in the States. They will also do what they have to do, communicate with you. And then we can have an awesome naming ceremony, an African naming ceremony in the United States for you, even if you are not here on the motherland. I hope, Nana Kwame, I hope this can be done.
If we get permission from, I don't have the personal authority, but I think the idea has merit. If they send the names, it's important to send their names and also their birth dates. To send the name and the birth dates.
Okay.
So we will have enough to work with.
Okay.
Permission. Everything is a process that requires permission.
Permission, yeah.
Authorization. In the U.S., one of the biggest problems we have is everybody works thinking that they can authorize themselves to do whatever they think.
Yeah.
But that's not a cultural way of doing something. So I would have to, Nana Obekese and I would have to think about this, see who else would have to authorize it, maybe. And maybe there will be some things that we're not thinking of that would have to be attended to. But everything requires a process that requires some authorization. I think the idea is a great idea, and they send the names and their birth dates. We will have what we need to move forward if it's approved.
All right, my last question that I was going to ask both of you. My last question, I think somebody has even placed, but I also have it here. We have a lot of universities in Ghana, both physical and virtual. And now we are looking at Obekese University of Excellence, which is going to be an online virtual university. I have so many universities in front of me right now. What is so different with Obekese's from the other universities? Why wouldn't I go to the other ones, but I have to choose Obekese University of Excellence?
Well, let me answer that, Nana, first. The entire educational apparatus in Ghana was created by the British. You know that?
Yeah.
So the British created an educational system that would serve the interests of the British. You know that? It wasn't designed to serve the interests of the Ghanaian that was going to school.
Yeah.
It was designed to equip the Ghanaian with the skills necessary to serve the British interest. So the same is true with the legal system, with parliamentary system. All those systems were created to serve the interests of the British. So the British at some point leave. 1957, the British leave. But Ghana retains all of the infrastructure apparatus that served the interests of the British. So just like a computer, if a computer has an operating system and I give my computer to you because you're not satisfied with the way I'm using the computer and you don't change the operating system, the computer doesn't do anything different for you than it did when I was operating it.
Yeah.
So right now, Ghana is operating with a post-colonial system that was designed to serve the interests of the British. So unless you do something to change the operating system, the outcome will be not much different than it was when the British controlled it.
Yeah.
So the educational system and all these other schools that you're talking about or that exist are not African-centered in nature. The student in the school listens to lectures about how great the British or the colonials were, how fantastic their studies were, how great they did things to convince the student that the European is better than the African. So an African-centered program will put the student in the center of the activity.
Okay.
As opposed to a standing on the sideline at a football game, you'd rather be on the field than in the stands. So the African-centered school program of Obekese University of Excellence will put the student on the field of play.
Okay.
As opposed to a spectator in a European game that convinces you that the European can play better than you. But you see that that's not true because all of the teams everywhere are made great because of the African players that are on the team.
Yeah.
So the school can't be a spectator sport where the student is a spectator. So Obekese University of Excellence will put the student front and center of what's happening so that the people that are being highlighted are African people. The great people that you're talking about are African people. They're not Europeans from somewhere. So it creates a different dynamic and a consciousness that convinces the student that African people are great. They have always been great. They have been great in spite of colonialism, in spite of slavery. The African person has always been great, resilient, creative, adaptive, everything you need to be able to feel every day that no matter what problem you confronted with, you can solve that problem.
Yeah.
That doesn't exist in any of the existing schools.
All right, beautiful. So, Nana Obekese, what do you say about that?
Well, first of all, I'd like to thank Nana Kwame Nakra. He's the provost, and then this man eats ideas for dinner. So when he speaks, then it's just enough. What I will add to it is that, as Nana said, this is a purely African-centered university. So just bear in mind, the curriculum is African-centered, African-based, and this is what it is going to be. Now, with your permission, Nana Kwame Nakra, for calling me a sub chief in public space, the consequence is that there's a traditional consequence to that. He needs to present 1 cow and 3 bottles of schnapps to right that wrong. So I don't know if the audience, the listeners are going to help him raise that, but you're talking about Africanness and then respect to our traditional systems and values. So, and now with your permission, unless you want to stand in for echo or something, he's going to have to present 1 cow and 3 bottles of schnapps.
I have Nana, please, can I speak? I have raised my hand. Yeah. Audience, if you are watching us right now, there's a traditional system in Ghana that you can't make an error. I mean, calling out the name of a chief. I mean, you have to learn. I have learned, and I think it escaped me, and I've made an error. So if you are watching me right now, I would have to pay for this. There's a need for me to pay for that. I have to buy 1 cow, and then 3 bottles of please, what did you say? Snaps. So if you are watching me right now, maybe you would like to donate, because I was doing this for you, so you have to you have to help me. But then I'll also beg Nana Kwame the second to also plead on my behalf. Maybe we can reduce it a little bit, and then I can do what I have to do.
If I can, Nana, with your permission, Kyle, here's what I would like to use this as an example. Now, here's a situation that you're confronted with, that you don't have the money, but you also know that not having the money is not an excuse. Like someone said they don't have a passport, but that's not. I don't have the money for a passport, but that's not an excuse. You have a responsibility and an obligation now, and you can't use the excuse that you don't have the funds. So it's a perfect object lesson, because somehow you have to figure out how to do this.
Yeah.
And not having the money can't be the impediment, because it's not going to fly. So you know that you have to come up with some alternative. I would like to ask Nana Obekese on Ikao's behalf that he's tried to do a very important hosting job. And even though he knows the culture, the protocol, and his responsibility, he made an innocent mistake. It wasn't intentional, and it was in the enthusiasm of the conversation that he was trying to move things along. So I would respectfully ask on his behalf that his penalty and his compensation be reduced somewhat to make it easier for him to apply. There's also an opportunity for people to practice the Pan-African spirit that we're talking about. If enough people sent 1 Ghana cedi eventually there will be enough Ghana cedis for him to go buy a cow. If enough people thought as a Pan-African community, because what we say the proverb, when spider webs unite, they can tie up a lion. So small contributions could get this done if we're Pan-African. Now, if we're not Pan-African, we will say, well, he should have done better. He shouldn't have made that mistake. That's his problem. But if we're Pan-African, we recognize that his problem is our problem too. So I would beg you to consider those things, and I would certainly make a contribution on Mikhail's behalf myself.
Thank you. Today I've been taken to a different level, and I appreciate the correction and what I need to do, and I appreciate you, Nana Kwame II, for intervening, and I appreciate it, and yeah.
So thank you very much, Echo. Thank you, beautiful audience, for partaking in this discourse. I want to assure you that we appreciate you, we appreciate your time, and I also want to encourage you that together we can make a difference. This is the time. From all what is happening, the ancestors have a special purpose for this moment. Let's seize it. Let's grab the opportunity. There may not be any time like this season. So let's seize it to seek for reparation for our people. Let's seize it to seek for repatriation. Let's seize it to seek changing our names to our original names. Let's seize it to intermarry. Let's become one. Let's become one. We are a very strong people if we can unite on this day-to-day level. It's one thing for the AU and the UN to carve out policies and debates and all that. That is one thing. But on the personal micro level, you can change your name. On the personal micro level, you can claim your heritage. On the personal micro level, we can intermarry. These are things that will make difference, in the real sense of the word difference. We appreciate you. The Obekese University of Excellence is on the move. We have the Fraser Nation behind us. We have a very wonderful gentleman by name Anakwam Nakra Tupuin of Atunkwa in Elmina as the provost. We have Rabbi Kohen Halevi, the executive director of Panafest. We have PLO Lumumba. We have Arikana Chiombarukwao. We have the presidency of Ghana. We have everything we need to succeed. Let's make it work. Let's show that we can carve out our own curriculum. We can build an educational institution that is suited for us, that will produce the right kind of people that will effect the change we want to see. Echo, I would like to thank you very much for this opportunity. And I'd like to say a big thank you and a very big appreciation to all the fathers in the world, especially my African fathers. Thank you. You rock.
Hey, Kyle, can I give you one other email address that people can go to?
Yes, please.
OneFraserNation.com.
One, is it the number one?
The word one, O-N-E.
Okay. One.
FraserNation.com. F-R-A-S-E-R Nation.com. All one word. When I see it, that's it. People can go there and find out everything about Fraser Nation. You can even sign up and become a citizen. So all the information is there. The Constitution is there. The members are there. The infrastructural leadership is there. My name is there. So people can find out things. And if you have my email address for follow-up questions, I'd like to thank you, myself, for putting together this program, because as Nana Obekese has said, the time has come for us to become who we can be. We have everything that's needed right now. And all we have to do is act. And all of these projects, this Obekese University of Excellence is an outgrowth of the 2019 year return. It's just building on President, His Excellency Akufo-Addo's original designation of the year of return, Nana Okatachi's impetus to set aside land. We're just building another block on top of the block that's already there, so that we can see the thing moving further to help advance our people. So if everybody just puts more blocks, the wall will be built. And my final comment I'd like to make is almost everybody every man in Ghana seems to be able to has the expertise to build a house. Everybody, no one in the US knows how to build a house, but all Ghanaians do. And we know that if it takes 2 years to build a house, it wouldn't take 30 days to tear that house down. And so even though the European apparatus has been in place for 200, 300 years, we could tear that down in less than 6 months, actually. Because it's easy to tear something down that takes a long time to build. We could dismantle that and put in place something that actually serves our interests. And it won't take 200 years to do it. So let's get busy.
All right. Let's get busy, everybody. Thank you very much for checking us out. We'll be coming up with such relevant video discussions and all that. We've done 2 hours, 7 minutes. Wow. I just thought it was going to be like 30 minutes something, but then we've done. And I really want to appreciate you, awesome chiefs, chiefs, not sub chiefs this time. No, chiefs. I don't want to enter into anything again. And so I really appreciate it. And anytime there is a topic that concerns your opinion and comments, I'll put you on and then we'll take it from there. Thank you very much for being part of this conversation. So after you are gone, I'll speak to my followers for a little while just to help me raise the funds to buy the cow and then the 3 bottles of schnapps. Thank you very much for being part of this. We appreciate it.
Thank you, Echo. Aiko.
Yeah.
Okay.
Hey guys, so in Ghana, there are rules, like when it comes to, like when you go to the chief's palace or when you're speaking to a chief, there are certain things you don't have to say, or there are certain mistakes that you don't have to make. So whilst I was addressing one of the chiefs, I mistakenly said sub chiefs, but he's not a sub chief. So I've been asked to buy a cow. I don't know how much that is going to cost, and I've been also asked to buy 3 bottles of schnapps, which is like, it's something that is done. You need to do it because you have aired. So this is my PayPal account. If you want to support me, pay for that or buy that, I really appreciate it. It is simpsonecho1@gmail.com. Or if you want to use Western Union, you can. That is my correct name on my PayPal. On my national ID, because Western Union sometimes they mess up a little bit. And then MoneyGram also has the same name, Echo Ejuru Simpson. So you can support and then let's make it happen. And this is one of the email address that you can also use. The website that you can check on one of the chiefs that spoke, Nanakra Kwamina the second. I'm also going to make a mistake. I have to buy 2 cows. So hey, I appreciate you guys for being part of this. And thank you for donating. Those of you donating, I really appreciate it. I've seen Juliet, thank you very much. I've seen another sister. I wish I could go straight. Okay, I think I've seen it. So please accept this contribution to pay towards your mistake. Come on, viewers, help him out. Thank you very much for being part of this. Thank you. It's an exciting project. The vision is powerful. The platform is connecting. Yes, I appreciate it. And anybody, if you have something that you want to start, we can have a one-on-one communication like this, so that we can sell out to the number of people who are watching us right now. I also want to say, how soon will international borders be opening? I think right now some of the I think I went to the Cape Coast Castle and asked them when they're going to open. And then they were like either 1st of July or 14th. So the moment they told me that, I figured that soon the borders will be open. I can't be certain with that. But from what they said, then if they are opening the castle, then who are they opening it to? Me, you, and everybody. How much honor and respect. Thank you very much for watching. They're speaking on how flights will increase by 54%. So get ready. Wow. My contribution for the cow is small comment. Thank you very much. I appreciate it, Judy Jones. You've been a wonderful subscriber. You're always there for me. I appreciate it. God bless you, man. God bless you. Dismantle European supremacy. And so the thing is that when we understand how each and everybody's culture is, we wouldn't complain. Why should you complain because I made a wrong? I mentioned a chief's name wrongly, or I gave him a title which is not his title, and I've been asked to pay for that. And you have to say it's not like that in the Western world. This is Ghana. Deal with it. So if you're gonna help me pay for it, I'll be, hey, great discussion. Hey, Lima friend, how you doing, brother? Thank you. This was wonderful. This was very informative, and I felt good. Happy Empire. I appreciate it. 3,000 Ghana city. What were you saying? I mean, who act like? What are you talking about? Sin offering. I don't know what you're talking about. David Hutchinson, please share. Okay, David is trying to have. Let me say this. David Hutchinson. I think this is my first time of having a conversation with him, like right now here, and he's having a Zoom. So if you want to be part of his Zoom, I think he posted his number there. Just pick it up, and then we'll take it from there. Understandable, the tradition must be upheld, or you become like us traditional as well. I will contribute over PayPal, Medasi. Thank you very much for supporting me pay for it. So this is my PayPal account. Thank you very much. Your name is Fawuhudi Suya. Okay, it's a beautiful name. That's a local name. Why Schnaps? Why not our local drink? Schnapp is a local. No, you see, I don't know how to explain some of these things. I know we are all curious, we want to learn, but tradition is tradition. You can't make one comment to change it. Okay. Will 576 buy a lot for this project? Please, highly blessed and highly favored. What project are you talking about? Yes, reason why we don't speak to them directly. Yeah, Daniel, you know, right? Yeah, I was lucky because I had them on my show, so I had to speak them direct. They should have even brought, we should have agreed to bring a language. So I speak to the language, then we speak to them, and then back and forth like that. But we really appreciate it. I will support, but please answer when the people who paid for the free land get response. Yes, my chief answered. He said they are working on it. I have seen one person get it. But then because of the corona, honestly, most of them don't go to work. They're asking us to stay home. So they can't be going and coming out. Unlike if it was like the normal day with no corona, everybody would have gotten his or her allocation papers and everything. So bear with us. I think things are easy now. Okay. First, we were not supposed to see 25 people gathered. No, we're supposed to see not more than 25. Now it has been increased to 100. Just last 2 days, the coronavirus we had was 13,000, and now the recovery number is 10,000. So things are working. So please bear with them. This is something that the president and the chiefs are involved. Nobody's going to run away with your money. The papers might take long because of one or two things, but please bear with them. They will get you everything that you need. Okay, this is Ghana. We are. Nobody's gonna run, and nothing bad will happen. So please bear with us. I really appreciate that. Some spirit don't like the strong drink. Some is like fire. I will reach out to you about education when we move. I am available. I'm a teacher, so we can do a lot together, please. I would like to leave you guys to echo. What is David's contact details? Okay, this is it. This is his contact details. Yes, that's his email. So kindly put up an email to him, and then he will reply to you. Your money is secure, people. Do a video with. Say do a so. Let me get it again. Say do a video with. A cow will cost like 3,000. Yeah, cow they cost. They cost like like $400 to $500. Yeah, because some are waiting their paperwork for the land. Should we be worried for our investment? As no, don't be worried. We are in Ghana. I am here. The chiefs, they've put their face in camera on TV, national TV. The president is aware. The U.S. embassy in the U.S. Embassy, should I say that the U.S. consulate, the Ghana consulate in the U.S. is part of this. So there's no way they are running with your investment. You will get your land. I've been there. I've seen the demarcation. It is something that you're going to get it. So please, 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 I'm saying it from my heart that take time. You will get everything. All right. So do a video with you paying your dues. What dues are you talking about? And kindly explain, and I'll be very happy to thank you for sharing this. Hey, how are you? Sin love. Sin no love. No. Sin no. I thought it was sin love. I always have been saying sin like, because it's like sin like. They are not answering email. They are not answering emails. Yes. I'm gonna give you the email of Nana Obekese, the one we just spoke to, so you will know exactly what to do with him. Okay, he will answer all the questions that you have. Yes, well, that would be nice. Is champagne? It's not a black owned or made product. I think there is one that is made in Ghana. Yes, there is one that is made in Ghana. They are all called schnapps, but Ghana Breweries Limited. I think they make schnapps. Yes, I know. Because yeah, I know. Please, I am Komenko guy living somewhere away from home. So I know, hey bro, Komenko, you're a teacher. Big up yourself, brother. Big up yourself. Big up yourself. I have to leave you guys, and but nothing to worry about. Ancestors are in charge. Bless you. Clarissima Soy. Hey, thank you for the £10 or €10. I think it's €10, right? Thank you very much. I appreciate it. And that's going to help me pay off my mistake. All right. Thank you very much. Thank you, everybody watching me. I appreciate you. It's been an awesome conversation. Echo, thanks, Echo, blessing for that reassurance. Yes, I'm assuring you, man. You don't have to be hurt. A video presenting the cow and snap. Okay. Aye, no problem. No problem. I have to do that. A video of your payment of the car. Sure, I will do that. So far as I can make up the money and buy the car like a big cow, and I sit on the cow and just, I have to do that. What's the chief's email address? I think David put up a WhatsApp number. The chief's email address let me copy it again. This is the chief's email address, please. With it here. Yes, please send him an email. That is Nana David Whittaker. Okay, send him a mail, and then we'll take it from there. So, bro, happy Father's Day. Do you have Cash App? No, I don't think we use that in Ghana. Send Wave or Remitly. I think that is what I've been using. So send Wave or Remitly. It's a website. You can go there and check it out. I think they can allow you to send me money with my phone number. but my phone number, I can't put it here. I don't know if I can. Is it okay to put it here? No, I think I'll send it privately. So this is my email address. Maybe if I get your email, I will send you my number, because honestly, I don't want to be giving out. So that is my email over there. If you send me an email, I will put it up. I'll give you my number so you can really support me with this issue that I've found myself. So US Bronxy, if you send me an email, I'll be very happy to do that. What is the update on the dual citizenship? So I would like to buy a freehold. I will have to do a research on that and then let you know. Something. Can you provide David Hutchins WhatsApp number? Okay, he put it up as a comment. So, and the comment is way up. Way up. I have to look for it. David, if you're online, if you're still online, can you put out your number again? Okay, I think I found. Okay, yeah. So this is David's number. Kindly pick it up. And then maybe today I'll be available for the Zoom video, the discussions, and then we'll take it from there. So hey, I want to appreciate everybody for taking time to watch this. Being educated enough, we have been educated enough on what to do and what not to do. Salute you very much. Thank you for being part of this. Stay blessed. God bless. Quick one. Let me just answer a question. Who is coming to Ghana? Let's chat on WhatsApp if you don't mind. Okay, somebody's asking who is coming to Ghana. That is his number. Please take it, and then I respect the work that is being done. Thank you very much, brother. Send wave is easy. Word remit, MoneyGram just added the mobile wallet option and it works well. All right, so my sister and my land partner. Hey, Mrs. Buama, how are you? Say shout out. Say hello to your husband for me and the kids, and let's stay blessed. I appreciate everything you're doing, Mrs. All right, so like she said, send wave is easy. Word remit, MoneyGram just added the mobile wallet option. So I'll send you an email, you take my number, and then we'll take it from there. Every little bit helps. Yes, hey, Shuhuan Hu. I'm trying to always get your name right, but okay. So thank you very much for making this thing happen. When I want to leave, a lot of questions keep coming and bringing them. What crop are you farming? I don't know if you're asking somebody else, but I'm not sure. Okay, you're asking somebody else. Okay. All right, thank you very much for being part of this. Hey, Elizabeth Ejewa, thank you for being part of this. And make sure we share this video to reach everybody around the continent. Stay blessed. Bye.